On one thing, and that's for sure, that we want to see scenes like this at Celtic Park. That's everything that's good about Celtic and the Green Brigade. And what we don't want to see is scenes like this at Celtic Park, because the atmosphere is rubbish. And the last thing that we want, as a big fan base, now you'll get some Celtic fans that just don't like the Green Brigade, and I get that. You'll get some fans that love the Green Brigade, and I get that. But what we need to do is make sure that we go into this season so that the fans are all together, and so that we don't have a big empty part of the stadium like this. Today, 7th of August 2025, the disciplinary outcomes for Aberdeen, Celtic and Partick Thistle. Celtic have already had a little bit of a pre-warning of this, and then there is the ongoing UEFA situation also with Celtic fan base, and the fact that the fans have been on a warning for some time with regards to pyro, etc. Now there is the possibility that if it does happen in a UEFA context, they will get banned again. The SPFL have had enough. 3 clubs breached SPFL rules at the end of the 24-25 season. The SPFL has confirmed that Aberdeen, Celtic, Partick Thistle have been found to be in breach of SPFL rules following the behaviour of clubs' supporters at matches towards the end of the season. Proceeding into large-scale organised illegal pyrotechnic displays at 3 separate matches in May last season. Aberdeen versus Celtic, Celtic versus St Mirren, and Ayr United versus Partick Thistle have now concluded. Well, let's miss out the bit and let's just get right down to the Celtic part of this. Celtic were found to be in breach of rules H36 and H37 in respect of the William Hill Premiership match involving St Mirren, and the following sanction was imposed: a suspended reduction of 200 tickets in the area of the stadium where the display took place, one of the future matches in the SPL competitions at Celtic Park, to be triggered in the event of another breach of SPFL rule H36 or H37 through the use of pyrotechnics by supporters in the club in that area of the stadium. Any SPFL competition on or before June 2026. That's a warning. Any single pyro let off in an SPFL game this season, and not only will Celtic clamp down with a suspended 3-match ban of home and away tickets, the SPFL will bring in a sanction of a reduction of 200 tickets in that area. How long does that go on for? People say that, and I've said it, the Green Brigade do a lot of good for Celtic. Celtic and the Green Brigade it's like a marriage made in hell for Celtic. They see the value of the Green Brigade when it comes to certain selling merchandise of a certain type, full stadium tifos, etc. But then there's the other side of the Green Brigade, which the club tried to put a tin lid on. And as a support base, Celtic fans throughout the history of time have never allowed authoritarian or authority to determine what we do as a fan base. We should not expect the Green Brigade to start falling in line to an authoritarian rule of any sort, because when you go back to the history of Celtic Football Club over the decades of the fan base, if it wasn't for the fan base standing up in the 1990s, and if it wasn't for the fan base, the club wouldn't be in the position that it was in today. And that's a fact. Now, the modern ultras thing may not be for everyone's liking, but it does bring atmosphere to the stadium. I've said right before the beginning of the season, I says that I want all fans to be singing and shouting for 90 minutes. Fergus McCann must have sat in the stadium at the weekend, and he must have had a look round, and he must have had a cheeky little grin on his face and go, do you know what, the atmosphere was way better on my day. Just saying. Do you know, and it's something that will split the fans once again at a time where we need to be together more than ever. I do hope that the Green Brigade take heed, because for me, for one, having been in the situation where I have had tickets taken away from me, and I know that the supporters only want to support their team, but the authorities are clamping down. Yes, you're absolutely fantastic at doing tifos, and I love them, and the fans love them. But when it comes to the pyro part of the game, there's a lot of fans that dislike it. But me, for one, I want everything good about Celtic, and I think that this little video is everything that's good about the Green Brigade. From Discoland to many other tunes over the years, Celtic have penned some fantastic anthems for the club that has got the stadium bouncing. I just hope that the Green Brigade do the same now. I hope that they manage to find a song that brings the fan base back together, because that's when the Green Brigade are at their best, when they get the whole stadium rocking. Whether it be an old pop song from the 1980s that we've taken onto our own, like I Want to Be Edward. That was a fantastic anthem. And maybe it is the fact that we don't have real stars at the club that entertain us the way that players did in the past. And maybe that's why we've not got a song that gets maybe the Kieran Tierney one coming back might be the song. But I just hope that they get back to the good old ways, as we say. Because when it was a little section up at the back of 111, there wasn't a lot of pyro went off up there. There was a fantastic atmosphere, fantastic commander. It was a fantastic group. The atmosphere was brilliant. I want us to keep that as a fan base over the course of the season. So please, I know that pyro is a big thing in the ultra scene around Europe, but this is one of the most important seasons that we're potentially going into. With the struggle of trying to get into the Champions League and all the games that we've got before that even happens, it's an important month for us. And it's not only that. I want us to win the treble this year. I sincerely do. And I want the fan base to back the team and the manager as much as it can. And when we have a big chunk of supporters that aren't in the game for whatever reason, the atmosphere is nothing without the Green Brigade, and that's a fact. And on that note, I just want to say, fucking cause them hell, lads. Cause them hell from the stands for the whole season.